Let us begin by reading the word problem out loud. Two of the most popular music festivals sold a combined total of 480,000 tickets. One of these music festivals occurs in the spring, while the other is in the summer. If the summer music festival sold 3 times as many tickets, how many tickets did each music festival sell? Let us begin our strategy for problem solving by analyzing the problem. Keep in mind that the first thing we want to do when analyzing the problem is we always want to identify the question that's being asked. In this case, the question is, how many tickets did each music festival sell? So now that we know what it is we're asked to find, we know what our unknown variables are going to represent. So let us go ahead and jump to step 2 and assign the variables. Note that the question asks how many tickets did each music festival sell. So we're going to want 2 variables. So we're going to go ahead and use 2 letters, and then I'm just going to go ahead and use X and Y. Keep in mind that you can use any letters that you wish. Okay, so I'm going to have X represent the amount of tickets the spring festival sold, and let Y represent the amount of tickets the summer festival sold. So now we know what our variables represent, so let us continue analyzing the word problem. So now, the first sentence says that 2 of the most popular music festivals sold a combined total of 480,000 tickets. So we're going to want to keep that number in mind, 480,000 tickets. And then again, that's the combined total. The second sentence says that one of these music festivals occurs in the spring, while the other is in the summer. So numerically, nothing is of value in that sentence, so we'll move on to the next sentence. And it says that if the summer music festival sold 3 times as many tickets, well, that's something there. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. And it says that the summer music festival sold 3 times as many tickets. So the key there is that the focus is on the summer music festival, and then they sold 3 times as many. So this is literally what it means. 3 times is usually 3 times something. So we're going to do multiplication by 3. So now, let us go ahead and form an equation from the information given. So let's go ahead and focus on what's given in red. In red, we know that a combined total of 480,000 tickets were sold. So we're going to have 480,000 that's going to be equal to the sum of the number of tickets that each music festival sold. And we know that the number of tickets sold at the Spring Music Festival is represented by X, and the number of tickets sold at the Summer Music Festival is represented by Y. So this first equation here represents the fact that a combined total of 480,000 tickets were sold. So now let's move on to what's mentioned in the blue. In blue, we have that the Summer Music Festival sold 3 times as many tickets. So start off with an equal sign. And we know we're going to be comparing the number of tickets sold at the Spring Music Festival with the number of tickets sold at the Summer Music Festival. And it tells us that the Summer Music Festival sold 3 times as many tickets. So Y should definitely be bigger because Y is representative of the Summer Music Festival. So Y is definitely going to be bigger. Now if we want the left side to equal the right side of the second equation, since the right side is bigger, that means we're going to have to multiply the smaller side, which is X, by 3. So now multiplying X by 3 makes the left side bigger, and now it makes it equal to the right hand side. So there we go. There's going to be our 2 equations. So let us go ahead and start solving our equations. So I'll start off by bringing them down. So we have 480,000 is equal to x plus y, and we also have that 3x is equal to y. So notice in particular the second equation, the y is already solved for, and it is equal to 3x. So we're going to go ahead and substitute that in to our first equation. So that's going to give us 480,000, is equal to x plus y, but we know y is equal to 3x. So simplifying down, we'll bring down the 480,000. And then x plus 3x leaves us with 4x. And we want to solve for the variable x. So we want to undo whatever's happening to it. Currently, we're multiplying the x by 4. So we want to undo that multiplication, so we're going to have to divide. And we divide by the number we want to eliminate, which is 4. So on the right-hand side, we end up with 4 divided by 4. That simplifies out to 1. So we're left simply with x, which is the same thing as 1x. And then on the left-hand side, we have 480,000 divided by 4. Once we verify the division, we end up with 120,000 is equal to x. So now that we found the value of x, let's go ahead and substitute it in to find the value of y. And we're going to plug that into the second equation. So now we're going to have 3 multiplied by 120,000. And that's going to be equal to our variable y. So when we multiply these two out, we end up with 360,000 is equal to y. So now let us go ahead and state our conclusion clearly. Since the question was how many tickets did each music festival sell, we're going to go ahead and state our conclusion such that it answers that question clearly. So we'll go ahead and state the following. The Spring Music Festival sold 120,000 tickets, and the Summer Music Festival sold 360,000 tickets. So there we go. Now let us go ahead and check the result. So we'll start off by writing down the original equations we found in step 3. So we're going to have 480,000 is equal to x plus y. And the second equation is going to be 3x is equal to y. So substituting these values in, we end up with 480,000 is equal to 120,000 plus 360,000. And then when we simplify this down on the left-hand side, we end up with 480,000. And on the right-hand side, we also end up with 480,000. So that verifies that our first equation is correct. And now substituting these into the second equation, we end up with 3 times 120,000 is equal to 360,000. And then indeed, we end up with the same value on the right-hand side and the left-hand side. And that value is 360,000 for both. And then that also verifies that our solution is correct.